Hey everyone, welcome back to my garden. I am Cynthia and I am in zone 10A in Orlando, Florida. And as promised, I'm going to show you how to plant some dahlias. All right, so most of my tubers I buy here at our local box stores. So I have some from Home Depot. I think this one is from Walmart. And I think these two are from, yes, these two are from Lowe's. I don't order too many off of websites just because most of them will ship to us and arrive around March, mid-March, and February is our ideal time to plant. So because they arrive about a month later, I guess in other places it wouldn't make such a huge difference, but here, I mean, we could be in high 80s, lower 90s by then. So we need to get them planted when it's still relatively cool, which this year it seems like the temperatures are a bit higher than normal. We're already in the 80s right now, but it is what it is. So the first one I'm going to start off with is Kelvin Floodlight. I grew this one last year and it did really, really well here. And I have other friends around the area that grew this one too, and it did really well here. So this is Kelvin Floodlight. All dahlias like full sun. Mind you, if you're in Florida, they probably would appreciate not being in afternoon sun, although I did grow this one in afternoon sun last year and it did well. It just didn't last as long as the other ones that didn't get that afternoon sun. This one's a pretty big one. This one grows, I believe, about 48 inches. It can get up to 48 inches. So it's a pretty tall one, so probably further in the back of the garden. I've never grown this brand, Vigoro. So the only thing I don't like about this is that I can't see the tubers when I go by them. Usually, as you can see, they're all in plastic bags, and you can pretty much see the tubers and know that they're not rotten. So that's the only thing I didn't like about this, but luckily I had already opened it and I checked and they were fine. So you usually get 2 tubers per bag. This one is Thomas Edison. This one is Holland Festival. I had a friend that grew this one here in Orlando last year and it did really well for her, so I'm going to try it this year. And then we have one Lilac Time and one Prince of Orange. Yeah. So the only thing, again, that I don't like about this one was that I can't see the tubers, right? But then the tubers are also together, so I don't know which one is which. So it'll be a surprise once they bloom. All right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to plant all of these today, but I at least want to show you guys how I plant one. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to take, we'll take this one, and we'll plant these. All right, so we're going to go this way, but I just wanted to show you guys the generous gardener is blooming, and oh my goodness, the blooms are so beautiful. I get sidetracked all the time with the roses, so just thought I would show you guys real quick. All right, back to dahlias. So this is what I use to plant. I plant with mushroom compost, bone meal, and flower tone. Those 3 things are the things I add to the planting hole. And this is where we're going to plant one of the tubers. It's going to be between Sweet Drift and Abraham Darby. And I have a larkspur, I believe, is right there. That's right in front of the Mexican flame vine also. This is a south-facing wall. Again, it's going to get the afternoon sun. Last year, I did Kelvin Floodlight where the Mexican flame vine is, and it did fine. So we're going to experiment and see how it does here this year, although it's not Kelvin Floodlight again. We're going to be planting one of these. So it'll be either the Lilac Time or the Prince of Orange. We'll see once it blooms, which I'm really hoping it's the lilac because orange and orange wouldn't be ideal, but we'll see. All right, guys, so I just wanted to go over like the anatomy of a dahlia tuber. So we have, obviously they're called tubers, right? This is the neck. This is where the stem is going to come out of. These are all the tubers, and these are all the roots, okay? It's dry right now, but it's okay. And then all of the buds are going to come out of here too. You can see if it's healthy or not. You can find a little bud. Let me see if I can get closer. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me find it. It's right there. See, right there. So it's going to come out and grow from there. And there's going to be probably several ones around. So it looks like a pretty healthy tuber. First, I have my mushroom compost. And I'm going to, I just eyeball everything also. Sorry, I know a lot of people like measurements on everything, but I just kind of eyeball. All right, so get my mushroom compost in there. Just feels good sometimes, right, to get your fingers dirty and get them in the the soil. All right, then we're going to take, again, I take a handful of the fertilizer, and I'm going to take a handful of my bone meal. I'm going to put that in and put my tuber. It's a little difficult one-handed. I'm going to try to, if I can, kind of lay them out a little bit, if possible. And then, because here the soil's a bit more sandy, it's not as rich, I guess you could say, I'm going to add some more mushroom compost. I can mix it in when I cover it up. So just mix all that together. Sorry, guys. And then we'll just cover it. And then, because I always forget to do this, I have my little cage here. Because dahlias get big and they need support. So, put it right there. Okay, so we're going to plant another one in a pot. I have a terracotta pot. And really terracotta pots dry out really easily and really quickly. But because it rains so much here, I'm okay with that. Because that way I actually don't have to water constantly. And that way they don't rot, also because dahlias don't like to be in wet soil. Moist, yes, but not like wet. All right, so we're gonna, all I plant them in is mushroom compost. So I'm just gonna put all this in here. And the planting depth on the packaging says 1 inch. So I'll do a little bit more. Okay, that should be good. Ooh, okay, and then before we plant the tuber, which is here, yeah, there it is. Oh, this one's kind of coming off. Oh, that came off. I wonder if it's rotten. No. Okay, that just came off, but that's okay. Okay, so we got that here, and then I'm going to add, I'm really bad at measuring again, so 1 handful of bone meal, maybe a little bit more. Another handful of flour tone. I usually wear gloves because if you use the Still Organic, it has a smell to it, and my dogs absolutely love it, so they go nuts when I go inside. But I really, really wash my hands really well, but I usually use the gloves, but I don't mind getting my hands dirty. All right, now we're going to take our tuber, again, neck up. Tubers, try and like lie them down. I'll show you guys in a minute. All right, let me show you. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like once it's in. Okay, and then we're just going to take the soil. I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed. We're going to take the mushroom compost and just put it on top. And then once we're done covering it, we are not going to water the dahlia. If it rains, obviously, nothing you can do about it, but once it starts sprouting, then you can start watering it. But for now, no watering. We're going to leave it like that. Neck is right here. Leave it down. Just a little bit more. There we go. And then we're going to take our little cage and we're going to put it here because dahlias get big. We want it to have some support, okay? And then I'm actually surprised at myself that I did this, but I actually labeled. I'm so bad at, oh my gosh, look at my hands. But I'm so bad at labeling. But I actually labeled it. So I just put the name. Again, I don't know which one this is going to be because it's coming out of this container, which is one or the other. So it'll be either Lilac Time or Prince of Orange. We'll see. And then the date. Today is the 7th of February. And that's it. All right, you guys. Let me give you some perspective of where we're at. Okay. So I'm going to go and, oops, sorry. I'm going to go and plant it right here. Right there in that little space. I have Superbena Sparkling Amethyst here. I have all this is ranunculus, and then my black-eyed Susan is there. I just planted some forget-me-not seeds here. because I should have probably planted a dahlia around this area, but I don't get that much sun there. So I was like, let me do it over here. So we're going to dig a little hole right here, and I'm going to plant it right there. All right, you guys. So I dug a hole here. It's about, I would say probably about 8 inches. It's supposed to be between 3 to 5 inches. And I want to correct myself because on the first tuber that we planted, I said 3 to 5 inches, and that one was actually supposed to be 1 inch. It's probably a smaller dahlia, so I made a mistake. I'm gonna have to go back and take it out and do it 1 inch because I think I did it too deep. But this one is supposed to be 3 to 5 inches because this is Calvin Floodlight. He's a beast. He's a big one. So it's going to be deeper, but I did about 8 inches because, again, I like to add my mushroom compost. So with that added, it'll be about 3 to 5 inches. Okay, so we've got that in. Then again, we're going to add our flour tone. About a handful. And bone meal. Another handful. And then we're going to lay the tuber on top. There's your tuber. Neck up. And I will show you a closer view. I apologize because there were planes going over, and then my neighbor's sprinkler system just went on, so I hope you guys can hear me. Alrighty, so again, we have Celestial Night Rose here. I have a salvia back there, fire spike up here, the vernaculus here, black-eyed Susan there, and boom, Calvin Floodlight Dahlia tuber. Okay, and we're just going to backfill, and then we'll put the little cage around. Okay, you guys, I'm going to add some mushroom compost here, and then we're going to just top off the dahlia, cover her up. I like to add mushroom compost, cow manure, anything like that, anything organic, because that's how we get our sandy soil amended here in Florida. All right, so now I'm going to put the cage in, again, for support. And don't forget to label. All right, you guys, I hope this was helpful. You guys have a good day, okay?